So when he shares the gospel with me, and when he tries to tear down my faith, I know he's doing it because he loves me, and he's trying to provide me with his truth. And when I do the same for him, I try to tear down his faith and give him my own message. It's because I love him. See, in the context of friendship, you can accomplish a lot. You can really challenge one another. And so we did. I came to a quick realization that there are 3 things that I would have to investigate if I were going to look into the Christian message. And those 3 things are, number 1, whether Christ is Lord, number 2, whether he died on the cross, and number 3, whether he rose from the dead. Why in the world would Paul have hallucinated the return of Jesus? He had no psychological phenomenon that would explain this. He hadn't followed Jesus for 3 years. He hadn't given his life to Jesus, as it were. Yet even Paul is willing to go to his death because Jesus is risen. If you study the history of the New Testament, you study the manuscripts, and you take a look at the evidence that we have, what they say today is what they have always said. Well, I turned to David and I said, all right, David, we have the New Testament message here. It's still accurate to what it says, but it doesn't look like Jesus claims to be God anywhere in there. Where does he claim to be God? It took me a while, but I began to realize that when I read the New Testament the way it's supposed to be read, from the perspective of those who understand the Old Testament, then Jesus very clearly claims to be God.